Hey everyone, so this is the controversial parenting tag. And just like a little disclaimer to you guys, this is that these are my opinions. This is what I believe. This is what we will be doing with our girls. This is what works for our family. This is not only my opinions, but this is also Steve's opinions. Please do not write rude comments. Any rude comments will be deleted and you will be blocked from my page. And also, let's just respect the fact that we all have different opinions and respect that these are my opinions. So, the first topic is pro-life, pro-choice. I am almost 100% pro-life in most circumstances. The only reason why I think that really abortion should be an option is for medical reasons, such as if it's harmful or to the mother, or it could be fatal for the mother to be pregnant. Yes, though that would be a good reason. Medical problems with the child as well, another reason. And then the other reason that I think that it is a good thing, or at least should be an option, is for women maybe who were raped. Other than that, I am 100% pro-life. At 20 years old, I was pregnant and had a baby, and I know that it's not the best. Maybe it's difficult, and it's more difficult for some people than it was for me, but I am just 100% pretty much pro-life, other than the situations I told you. So, yeah. Next is baby wearing, which in my opinion is not really controversial. Yes, I baby wear, Steve baby wears, we're pro baby wearing. Circumcision. I do not have a little boy, so I've never really had to research this topic that much. And if we did have a little boy, I would not actually give out that information, whether he was circumcised or not, just because of the fact that I just feel like that's like a very private topic between, whether we choose to do that, that's between Steve and I and the baby. And it's not up to, opinion and scrutiny from anybody else. So if we had a boy, I would not say whether or not he was circumcised or not. And right now, my opinion of it is kind of I'm on the fence. I don't really know, because I don't really know enough about it, because I don't have a little boy. So I'm not really gonna get into that one. Adoption. Don't really understand why anyone would be against adoption. I think that it's a fantastic thing. I couldn't personally put a baby up for adoption, my own baby. Having had 2 babies, I can't imagine, or just couldn't do it. But I do admire people that are able to do it, and I think that it's an incredible thing to do. People who adopt babies, yeah, I think it's great. It's fantastic, and I am pro-adoption for sure. Baby piercing, assuming this is ears only. I'm not against it, and I'm not for it. We will not be piercing Eva or Mila's ears until they ask to have them pierced. And when they do, then 100% we will take them to do that. But not as little babies. Not that I think that there's anything really wrong with it, but just for us, we just made the decision that we would wait until they asked to have their ears pierced, which they may never ask. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Breast milk versus formula. Well, I think everyone anyone who's had a child will know the benefits of breast milk. And of course, I exclusively breastfed Mila, and Mila's almost 6 months old now and has been exclusively breastfed for 6 months. And I did breastfeed Eva, sorry. I breastfed Eva, but I had issues with supply, so I did have to supplement with formula. So I think formula is fantastic when you are not able to give your baby breast milk. Should you choose to formula feed, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that everybody makes their choices, their parenting choices, and their choices and what's best for their family, and if you choose that, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I choose breast milk over formula. Spanking. I was spanked as a child. Steve was spanked as a child. Do I have any, I don't think of it negatively. I don't feel like I was traumatized by it or anything like that. will we spank our children? Like, Steve has different, kind of a little bit different opinions than me. I kind of think that, I'm not sure I really believe that it like actually would benefit the child by spanking them, because it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm not sure that hitting a child is a good way to like stop them from doing something, because I don't know, I don't really even know how to explain like what I think, but it's like, basically I just think that it's kind of counterproductive. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't do this, so I'm gonna spank your ass. Like, sorry for swearing too. I just don't, I don't know. I won't be spanking them. Yes, we do like hold Eva on the hand and we'll like tap her hand, but not hard, like that. Just to get her attention, to make sure she's looking at me when I tell her not to do something. But will I be full on spanking her? No. Co-sleeping. Well, of course, Mila is almost 6 months old and we co-sleep. And not only do we co-sleep, we bed share. So obviously we are 100% for it. I think that it's great for the bonding experience. I think it's easier when you're nursing your baby and they are nursing at night. And I just think that, like, overall, I think the baby sleeps better when they're younger and they're in bed with you. Yeah. Do I think that it could be dangerous? For some people, I think 100% it could be dangerous. If you're a really deep sleeper or you move around a lot in your sleep, I wouldn't recommend it. But we aren't. You know, I wake up pretty much in the same position I went to sleep in. So for us, it works, and it works for our family, so that's the way it is. Home, public, private, or charter schooling. I don't know what charter schooling is, but I'm assuming that's probably like boarding school, which I would never send my children to boarding school. I wouldn't homeschool either. Don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that, but just for the social aspect, I think it's better to have your kids in public or private school. Mila and Eva will go to public school. If we could afford it and there was a really good private school in our area, then maybe we would consider private schooling. But most likely they will go to public school, just like Steve and I did. Next is vaccinations. This is a very controversial topic, and I know this is like a real hot button on YouTube. Yes, we do vaccinate. We delay vaccinations. We don't do them right by the months. Like, there's supposed to be one at 2 months. We don't do it right at 2 months. We usually go anywhere between a month to a month and a half late for all of the shots. One thing that we do is, yes, we give shots against serious diseases. Things like the flu shot, H1N1, random like things that they just come out with that they want to give you. We don't do those. We only do things if it is a serious disease. So they do not get just any old shot. If we've researched it and we know a lot about it and we think that it's serious enough to vaccinate them against it, then we do it. But we don't do all vaccinations, and we 100% do not believe in flu shots. And no one in our family will have flu shots. Neither of the kids will ever have a flu shot. And H1N1, I'm really against that. I never had that when I was pregnant with either of them, and I will not be giving that vaccination to either of my children. Next is medicating children. Okay, I'm assuming, like, I think from other people's videos that I've watched, they said that it was medication for, like, what's it called? Oh, ADD and ADHD and things like that. And I think depression maybe, like for giving your kids antidepressants. First of all, I have ADD and I was never medicated for it. And I don't really think that you need to be, but maybe I'm wrong. ADHD, I know people that were medicated for it, and depression, I knew kids that were medicated for it when I was in school. Personally, I'm like not really into antidepressants, and I don't really totally agree with them, so I would not give our children antidepressants. And I don't know if I would give them anything for ADHD. Oh. Thank you. A snack. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know a lot about this topic. I would only medicate if 100% necessary. Thank you. You're sweet. Okay, next, cloth versus disposable diapers. Okay, well, we do both, and I think both are great if you have the time. Whoop, thank you. And the means to cloth diaper, 100%. I think it's fantastic. I don't think there's anything wrong with either decision. It's just basically whatever works best for your family. For our family, it works best to do both, so that's the way it works. And last is the cry it out method. Well, I did try the cry it out method, I'm going to be totally honest, with Eva, because Eva was extremely difficult as a baby, and it didn't really do anything. Personally, I don't, now having another child, I do not believe in the cry it method for newborns. I kind of feel like crying is their only way of communicating with us at this point, so ignoring your child, you know, like while they cry, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like hearing my baby cry. When I hear my baby cry, I want to help them. So I just don't like it. Although I do think that people have like the wrong impression of the cry it out method. Because the cry it out method does not mean that you just put your baby in a dark room and you leave them there and you let them cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. No, you go in there and you comfort the baby, you just don't pick the baby up. So I think sometimes people, like, their opinion is based off of the wrong idea of just what they perceive the method to be, because that's not what the method is. So yeah, no, I'm not totally against it, but I'm not totally for it. Personally, I choose not to do it. I don't do it with Mila. With Eva, would I let Eva cry it out if she needed to go to bed and she was overtired? Yes, I would. But Eva's a little bit older, so it's different at this stage. Whereas when you have a newborn baby or a really, really small little baby, it's totally different. That's their only way of communicating. Eva can speak and say words, so she has another way of communicating with me. So in that way, I could see, you know, that it does help and it does work. Thank you. So yeah, so that's the last one. Thank you so much for watching, and again, please respect the fact that these are my opinions. I'm not like a terribly opinionated person. I'm pretty open to all ideas. I respect everybody else's opinion and what they choose to do with their children, so I hope that you could do the same for me. So again, thanks for watching.